What's up, everybody? It's your favorite pill popper's favorite nerd. Today we are looking at Marvel Legends Civil War, Giant Man, Build-A-Figure Wave, Red Guardian, and Nuke. I won't be getting all these. I'm passing on the Captain America and the Iron Man because I don't need to build the Giant Man because I'm not crazy about movie renditions. We're going to do these two, and then we'll do Nick Fury and Black Panther when I get those. And we'll start with Red Guardian. Pretty good. It's plain. I think it's efficient. It's effective at what it's trying to do. Accessory-wise, comes with this shield that has a pretty cool paint job. Even off the sprue, it's pretty well done. Nice, deep red, like semi-translucent, like marbly plastic, which was a nice choice. And then the star is sharp on there. And then, of course, he can hold it. He can clip it on his wrist. Just so you guys can see, it was clipped on his wrist initially. He can hold it, though, too. And you can use this to plug it into his back, so he can have the shield on his back, because I think this is the same thing they use for Captain America. Head sculpt wise, I think it's pretty good. The paint on the white gets away from him just the slightest bit right there. I wanted to make sure I double check that, but otherwise it has this one shot of like darker airbrush on the face for shading, and then it has the black around the eyes, and then the eyes, which gives it a really nice shadow on the eyes, which I think is really cool. Face sculpt is pretty plain, but I think it works well enough. The ear marks and stuff, I think it's pretty well done, to be honest. Sculpting in the chest and so forth all looks good per usual, and we have a ab crunch. You get one click forward, one click back, so that's okay. Because of the cut of this shoulder, you get a little bit of the butterfly joint on this ball hinge shoulder, which gets you the full swivel and up to that height, and then of course you can just rotate it and get the rest, so no problem. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow per usual. The white is chipping there and gets on the red. That's going to just vary piece to piece, but something to be on the lookout for. And then the wrist is a swivel and a hinge in and out, and it's the same hinge on the other side. So the other side is identical. No shading on the red on the arms, which is kind of a bummer because it does look nice on the chest and head. Speaking of the chest, the star looks pretty good as well. Got a little touch and go there. It's like it looks like some dust or something may have hit it. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is there. Waist swivel works fine. The belt is painted. The buckle and the red straps on the belt are painted, and that looks good. T-jointed ball joints for hips get you out to there, which is okay. Forward to there, back to there, which I think is all right. Thigh swivel. Let me make sure that, because some of these have been a little tight recently. Yep, they're both fine. Double jointed knees get you a great range, and then you had the calf swivel, which is dumb, but it's because they reused the boots. And ankle tilt all the way back. Pretty good forward, and the rockers built in, so no problems there. I really just would have liked to have seen this shading put more on the red and maybe the white a little bit cleaner on the boots, but otherwise, I mean, it's a plain figure, but I think it does its job effectively, and it's fairly good to go. And then this guy, which has some more impressive things and some weaker things about him. So accessory-wise, he comes with this alternate head, which is a great sculpt. Get up in there. Like the robot bit in there, that all has, it looks like a wash on it. If not, they painted it, so I'm going to guess it's a wash. And then the sneer is a really cool sculpt. The teeth are painted. The chin breakthrough with the metal underneath looks good. The flag still looks good on the face, all that stuff. This is really well done. It's not the choice that I'm going with, but I almost wish it were because it looks so good. It comes with this gun, which I think we may have seen before. It's a silly sculpt. It's very 90s comic booky, but the paint on it is fairly well done. You got silvers, you got, I think it's a blue plastic base, and you got the silver star, this silver, the red, all that. It's all painted well, but it looks ridiculous, and on top of looking ridiculous, he doesn't hold it extremely well. He has this knife, which is cool. Looks like you have, I think it might be just natural shadow, but it almost looks like it's washed as a result of it. And then you have, it's a black piece of plastic, I believe. And then you have this silver paint, which is chipping on me, but it's not a big deal. And you can holster that right in there, and that looks cool. So no issues there. Just to show you this other hand, he holds it a bit better, but still not quite enough. And the reason why is because there's no trigger finger, so it just sits weird, and the fingers aren't necessarily sculpted for this gun, so there's just a ton of problems. He probably should have got his own unique gun. Setting that aside, that's one of the few issues with him. We'll talk about a few of the others, but overall, not a lot of other issues going on here. Face sculpt, once again, the paint, look at the stars on the flag and all that. If you would have asked me if I would have thought they'd have been able to nail that flag on the face, I would have told you not a chance, Mac. But they did a pretty good job. Would have liked some shading on the hair and on the face, but you know, that's asking for a bit much, I think. It's a ball hinge, so you get back to there, you get forward to there. It is kind of ratchety, so to speak. What's going on there? That's not good, is it? That's like damage to the actual plastic. Interesting. But I would have, you see how the, well, because of the head sculpt, because this is the Hyperion upper body, I think, like, you gets like down to there, and then up to there, but like a lot of times you kind of want it somewhere in the middle to have like a more sinister look, and you're not going to really get that. So that's a bit of a bummer, but not the hugest deal in the world. Upper body, you have the same ball hinge arms, get you up to there, and the full swivel, so that's fine. Bicep swivel, that works well. Double jointed elbow, that works well. Wrist swivel and hinge. I know some people aren't crazy about the Hyperion mold, but I think it does a pretty good job of what it's supposed to do, personally. This vest hides most of it anyway, which is nice. The vest itself is washed. The buckles are painted silver. The grenades, I really wish they would have thrown silver on the pins and stuff. That would have put it over the top, but they didn't. And then the shells are all painted, both the gold and the red, and they both look good. The wash, once again, gives it a nice, like, texture, shadowy detail. Really comes through, and I applaud them for that kind of stuff. They should do more of that kind of stuff. It doesn't take much. It's a simple procedure, and it ends up looking really well. Let's see. You get the ab crunch. Does it work? Yeah, it still works. Kind of blows out the vest there a little bit, but you still get it, and then back. One of the nice things about this vest is it doesn't look goofy because they carved out the chest piece there, so that the vest kind of sits deeper inside of the body, and it ends up looking very natural. A very cool piece of thought that went in there, and I wouldn't have necessarily thought they'd do it. A lot of this, like this upper body, it's all reused stuff, but just, this needs to be buckled up, but just because they put this new piece over top of it, it gives it a whole new look, so good for them. T-jointed ball joints for hips, they get you out to there, and forward to there, and back to there, and this works. I think this bottom, I don't think I've seen this before. I think this is all relatively new. There is a couple issues I have with it though, but overall I think it looks really good. The sculpt work and stuff, and the wrinkles in the pants looks great. Looks very like tactical, and it looks cool. Silver's painted, the brown's painted. I wish they would have painted these straps here around the knees. I think that would have looked cool, but they didn't, and I wish they would have washed the brown with that so that it matched, but they didn't. Thigh swivel, that works fairly fine. The pockets on the pants do eat it up a little bit, but not to a point where you would want it. It's like, you're not going to want the thigh swivel like that, you know what I mean? So it's not really a big deal. Double jointed knees, the knees themselves, they have these buckles here, like these knee pads, and what they did was, it looks like they dry brushed the green plastic silver, and what they probably should have done is just painted it silver and then washed it to give it a better effect, because now it just looks a little bizarre. We got a boot swivel down here. I don't think I've seen these boots before either. Not a lick of paint on them. It would have been nice if they would have painted the laces. Of course they're not going to do that, but at the very least the buckles. And then we have an ankle tilt, get you up to there, back to there, and then the ankle rocker is built in all, pretty well done. Final thoughts wise, overall, they're pretty well done. The sculpts are good. The paint is good for the most part. Could have used a little bit more on him. It just would have sent him over the top, and could have used the paint that is here to be a bit cleaner and a few more washes, and that would have been good. The new sculpts that we're getting, like the pants, the heads, so forth, all look great. Accessory-wise, everything is appropriate with the exception of this gun, which just doesn't seem, it seems very 90s. It seems very dated. It doesn't seem appropriate for the modern days and times. But it makes up for it with this brilliant accessory that I just unfortunately can't use, but I think it looks super cool. I also want to take a moment and just say that the joint tolerances here are really well done. They're sturdy, they're stiff. There's only one part, and that's there's a little bit of wiggle in some of the hips. Not in this one so much, but in this one there's a little bit. Just a little bit, though, just the slightest bit. It's not bad. I've seen it much worse, but overall this is a pretty well done, pretty efficient, pretty accurate set of figures. And if you're a fan of Nuke, you know, Nuke has taken on a whole new level of popularity since the Daredevil series, or the Jessica Jones series rather. So if you're a fan of Nuke, definitely pick that guy up. And the Red Guardian figure is here's the problem with the Red Guardian figure, right? It's Red Guardian. But I think for being Red Guardian, it does a pretty good job. He's not a very exciting figure or character to look at on a page, let alone in a three-dimensional representation. I wonder why. I bought this from Hasbro Toy Shop, and they had both of them in stock. But of course, they didn't have Black Panther or Nick Fury. And I wonder why Hasbro can't predict what figures are going to be more popular, even though the characters seem to be so super popular. Like, Black Panther should be getting packed more per case. Or maybe they're doing it on purpose. The collectors are going to have an extremely difficult time finding the figures they actually want this time.
Excellent.
Hail Hasbro! But either way, it would be nice to have some of these figures more readily available. The Ahsoka and Kanan from the Star Wars Black Series line, the Black Panther and Nick Fury from this Marvel Legends line. There's just I would be lying if I said I wasn't getting frustrated with that a bit. Either way, good figures. I recommend you pick them up if you're attached to the character in any way, shape, or form, or if you're trying to build the figure. They're pretty good characters to have in the collection. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.